South Carolina is the 23rd largest state in the Union population-wise with nearly 5 million inhabitants. The state was the 8th to join the Union on May 23, 1788. 25 days after Maryland, the 7th state, ratified the Constitution and became a state on April 28th of the same year. South Carolina has an area of 32,020 square miles, making it larger than 10 states. The state is directly behind Minnesota population-wise with around 600,000 less inhabitants, as well as directly ahead of Alabama with approximately 100,000 more inhabitants. South Carolina borders North Carolina in the north and Georgia in the southwest. Its location places it in the Eastern Time Zone. The highest point in South Carolina is Sassafras Mountain at 3,563 feet above sea level. This mountain is part of the Blue Ridge Mountains as well as the larger Appalachian Mountains. The lowest point in the state is in the east where the state meets the Atlantic at sea level. The largest city in South Carolina is Charleston, with an approximate population of 140,000 in the city proper and around 750,000 in the metropolitan area. Charleston is located on the Charleston Harbor, an inlet of the Atlantic Ocean formed by the Ashley and Cooper rivers. The second largest city in South Carolina is Columbia, with a population of around 134,000, located 105 miles from Charleston. It's important to note that Columbia was the largest city in the state as of May 2017, just recently being passed by Charleston due to the city's growth. This city is located a mere 13 miles from the geographic center of South Carolina. Columbia is the capital of the state and has been since 1786. Columbia is located in Richland County, the second most populous of South Carolina's 46 counties with around 410,000 inhabitants. The most populous county in the state is Greenville County, with around 490,000 inhabitants. This county is the location of the aptly named Greenville, with a population of around 68,000. Ellendale County, located in the southeast on the South Carolina-Georgia border, has a population of 10,000, making it the least inhabited county within South Carolina. The modern flag of South Carolina was first adopted on January 28, 1861, and consists of a white palmetto tree and a crescent on an indigo background. The tree represents the defense of the Palmetto Log Fort on Sullivan's Island against the British fleet on June 28, 1776. The crescent design was worn on the caps of South Carolina troops during the Revolutionary War. The indigo background also matches the troops' uniforms. The first European to sail along South Carolina's coast was Spanish explorer Francisco Gordillo in 1521. While no settlements were established, several dozen Native Americans were enslaved. 5 years later, in 1526, the Spanish established a short-lived settlement. The French would later build a fort on Paris Island in 1562, however would also abandon it shortly. The first permanent settlement was established by the British in 1670, at Albemarle Point in Charleston. South Carolina officially separated from North Carolina in 1729, and as the Revolutionary War broke out, quickly became an essential member of the Union. Over 200 battles during the Revolution occurred in South Carolina, more than in any state. Following the war, the state became the 8th to join the Union on May 23, 1788. South Carolina played a very different role in the Civil War, however. On December 20, 1860, the state declared its secession from the United States. Until February 8th of the following year, South Carolina was an independent country. This independence was ended when the state joined its fellow southern states in the Confederacy. The Battle of Fort Sumter, the first battle in the Civil War, occurred in South Carolina from April 12 to April 14, 1861, and resulted in a Confederate victory. Following the war, South Carolina slaves were freed and the state was readmitted into the Union in 1868. In the modern day, South Carolina remains an important member of the Union. So that's a brief tour of South Carolina. The state has been an important member of the country since the Revolution and, despite seceding during the Civil War, continues to be an essential state. This is Morathy. Thanks for watching.